If you grew up like a 90s baby such as myself, then you grew up watching Eddie Guerrero taking the scenes of WWF, destroying the entire show entirely, single-handedly, rest in peace his soul. You also grew up watching Lucha Libre as a cartoon, and Gouki definitely reminds me of both of those things, and it's really exciting to actually have a deck based off of wrestling, masked wrestling monsters, so it's pretty cool to get into that. Now, I'm not 100% done with this specific Gouki deck profile. I think that there's some things that I could work on to make it even better than what it is, but I'm going to go ahead and still put competitive because I think the area or the angle that we're going to is a competitive Gouki deck, and while Gouki might not be a tier 1 or possibly even a tier 2 deck, I think that it can be a really fun local level deck. So let's get into the deck profile and put your mask on and get ready for this deck. Alright guys, so starting off with the monsters, 3 copies of Gouki Wrist Scorpio, 3 copies of Gouki Suprix, 3 copies of Twist Cobra, and 3 copies of Headbat. That's going to sum up all of the Gouki monsters. Now, the main thing that I want you guys to know about the Gouki monsters is that when they are sent from the field to the graveyard, you get to search your deck for 1 Gouki card and add it to your hand. So this has really good unison with each other. Anytime any of these Gouki monsters into the graveyard, you just search another Gouki monster or a Gouki spell or trap. Obviously, we don't have any traps yet, and we don't necessarily have any spells. This is actually one of the decks in that really weird point where we have some of the support, but more than half of the support is still OCG, so this deck can still get better and better with every upcoming set, and it's not a bad deck, and it's obviously really cheap. I'm still going to be providing some budget options for the players that want to be even more budget. So Wrist Scorpio allows itself to be summoned if you control no monsters or if all your monsters are Gouki. Suprix allows himself to, when he's normal summon, special summon any of your Gouki monsters. Twist Cobra tributes a monster to give you one of your Gouki monsters attack, and Headbat allows himself to be special summoning by discarding a card and controlling another Gouki, and it also gives your monster attack. The most important Goukis you want to try to gain effect as much as possible is probably going to be Suprix and Wrist Scorpio, but more often than not, you're going to be special summoning these monsters like crazy anyways, so you're probably not going to be able to get their effects as much as you would want to, but that's pretty much 3 of every Gouki. There was a couple of builds I ran where it ran 1 less Headbat and 1 less Twist Cobra, but I wound up going maximum for this particular build because we're going a pure build. Next, we actually do run the Predaplant engine, so 3 copies of Orphis Scorpio, 1 copy of Darlington Cobra, and 2 copies of Lone Fire Blossom. Now, this is the single most important card that isn't Gouki, or I wouldn't even probably go that far, but it's a really important card to the strategy, and that's the reason why I run 2 copies of Lone Fire Blossom. Main reason because getting Orphis Scorpio and a Gouki, certain Gouki monster in your hand equals in really good combos, so I figured that getting this card to the side of the field was as fast as possible. Now, the reason why I only run 2 copies of Lone Fire Blossom is because after you've already drawn your 1 copy of Orphis Scorpio, the Lone Fire Blossoms are pretty much dead. Now, you as a player, you could mitigate that by running cards of Glow Bulb. You can run I'm just playing. You can't run Dandelion anymore, but you can run Glow Bulb Spore. You can actually run a Plant Engine if you choose to do so inside of your Gouki deck, but I decided to go with the Lone Fires just to add more consistency to the Orphis Scorpio and not be too dead. Of course, we do have budget options for the people that can't afford Brilliant Fusion. I'll talk about that later. 1 copy of Galaxy Serpent, 1 copy of Jin Knight Lazuli, and 1 copy of Trick Clown. Basically, the Lazuli is going to add the Serpent to your deck, and you really have to thank almighty Arceus that Galaxy Serpent is a level 2 light tuner monster that's normal. If this card didn't exist, then we wouldn't be able to go through with the combo. More importantly, Lazuli can add it to your hand, and I'll talk about the combo a little later. Trick Clown is an alternative card that you can't send to the graveyard to special summon itself, and it does come in handy being able to provide an extra monster for a link, or even sometimes a tribute summon. I've actually used it for a tribute summon quite a bit. Lastly is 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. For the budget players, go ahead and swap out these Ash Blossoms for Ghost Ogres, and you might actually find better results. For some strange reason, I haven't had it happen up to date. If you draw your only 2 light monsters, you can send Ghost Ogre from your deck to your graveyard. So for those budget players that can't afford the Ash Blossom, go ahead and run those Ghost Ogres. Next is 3 copies of Gouki Rematch. This card's really good. Being able to special summon 2 Gouki monsters with different names to your side of the field is like amazing, or with different levels, my apologies, to your side of the field is amazing. This card is hands down the reason why Gouki is so good at what it does. 3 copies of Brilliant Fusion. Brilliant Fusion is an awesome card. It fuels the combo. It gets you an additional normal summon. It just makes everything work so smoothly inside of your deck. 2 copies of Enemy Controller. Now, Enemy Controller is a really good card offensively and defensively. You can tribute your monster to take control of your opponent's monster. Also, you can switch an opponent's monster from attack to defense. But more importantly, when you tribute your Gouki monsters, you can gain their effects of searching. You can, consequently, I didn't run Torrential Tribute inside of this board, but if you guys like Torrential Tribute even better, go ahead and take these out for Torrential Tributes. If you like Back to the Front, take these out for Back to the Front. I just felt that this was a good filler card, and I really liked Enemy Controller and the resources that it brings to this deck. 2 copies of Downbeat. Now, Downbeat is a new card from Extreme Force. I was going to call it Excavation Force, but basically what it does is it allows us to tribute a Gouki monster, which will trigger its effect to tutor another Gouki monster to our side of the field with a lower level. We actually need this to help minimize our odds of, you know, getting bad cards for the combo. It's a consistency piece. It doesn't necessarily aid or make its own combo, but it does add a lot of consistency to the deck. There are times where I've did that and Transmodifier on the same turn, just to get 2 Gouki monsters effect and then saddle on that effect and make my opponent get me a 3rd Gouki monster effect on their turn. So Transmodify increases the level. Reinforcement of the army to search, you know, half your deck, more than half your deck's level 4 or lower warrior monsters. Monster Reborn for the special summon Soul Charge, and then another spicy deck is going to be Instant Fusion. Now, for you budget players, normally I would go over cards that are like 20 bucks or more, which is the only card in there is Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, but I understand that there are some people that just can't play Brilliant Fusion or just see this as a really casual deck. And look, there's no problem in seeing this as a really casual deck. I remember I was talking to somebody about a specific deck. It was actually the Noble Knight deck, and I felt that the Noble Knight deck could reach a regional level event. If you guys want to see the Noble Knight deck profile, there's an annotation. And I felt like it can win a regional level event. I feel like it can consistently top locals. This deck, I don't feel as confident about as winning a regional level event, but I think it's a really fun local level event. So I'm going to get even more budget on this. We're going to take out the Brilliant Fusions, and then you're just going to add 2 additional copies of Instant Fusion into your deck. And since I've taken out the Brilliant Fusions, you can go ahead and take out the Perform Mage Trick Clown, the Galaxy Serpent, and the Gymnite Lazuli. So that's 5 cards taking out of the main board. That should make this deck even more budget than what it was. For that, you're going to add 2 more copies of Instant Fusion. So that's the 2 Brilliant Fusions. You are going to also add, gosh, I wish I had the list on top of my head. It was actually a really good list. Give me 1 second to think about it. Oh, wait, yeah, you can add the, what's that trap card? You guys know what that trap card I'm talking about, the one that special summons Jesset Back to the Front. You can add 3 copies of Back to the Front. That's going to be able to tutor your Gouki monsters back to your side of the field. And you can also add whatever card you feel so or see so fit. I would probably add another Lone Fire Blossom just to get the Orphan Scorpio to my side of the field. Or I could possibly even add you know, the Plant Engine instead of doing the Back to the Front. So it's strictly up to you. I felt that that was pretty good. I apologize, I don't have the actual cards to show you guys, but I hope you guys are understanding. You can put in the 3rd Lone Fire Blossom and a Glow Up Bulb, which will contribute to you making other boards. I'll probably have the budget in the description. And for the people that actually want to see a Gouki deck in action, it's still a really good deck. I actually have a duel video of it. Go ahead and click on that card. It's going to take you to the duel video of Gouki versus Noble Knight. It's going to be pretty crazy. So for the extra deck, 1 copy of Gouki Great Thunder. Normally when you summon him and you gain the extra summon, you're going to want to link away with him because your opponent can gain the same effect as well. And that's not really hard. Great Ogre is also a really card. It requires 3 Gouki monsters. And it's actually the main focus, or I feel should be the main focus of the Metalfoe Gouki deck, which might just be I don't want to say a better strategy, but the Metalfoe Gouki deck allows you to get rid of the Mrs. Radiant combo that I'm going to show you guys in order for you to make this card, and then it gives you Metalfoe counter, so it's pretty good. This card is really good. All your opponent's monsters lose attack equal to his defense for the people that can't read Japanese. Also, if this card would be destroyed, you can destroy a monster at points 2 instead. One copy of Firewall Dragon. Normally, you link the Thunder Ogre into the Firewall Dragon. One copy of Borolo Dragon. That's just another card that you can link into. Borolo Dragon's actually a really good card, and this deck is extraordinary at making high links. Proxy Dragon, Decode Talker, Isolde. This card's really good because, you know, half your deck's Warriors, and you can make it to search the card that you need. 2 copies of Mrs. Radiant. This card's also another great card to go into. It gives you all your Earth Monsters 500. The spicy tech that I'm talking about is Ultimate Azulkin and Crystal Wing. This card is easily achieved inside of this deck, and I'll show you guys a little later. Excel Synchron seems to be the only level 5 tuner synchro monster that I like. So let's go into that. X-Saber Invoker, Sea Monster Theseus is your instant fusion target, and Gym Knight Seraph Knight. So for the people that are playing the budget build of this deck, obviously you're going to have 2 extra slots. I would take out the Gym Knight Seraph Knight for the Sea Monster Theseus, and I take out the Excel Synchron probably for a Notoria Beast if you're playing the Plant Engine, or you can just play another card, maybe Fusionist, something to go well with the deck. But that is it for the extra deck. Now I'm going to show you guys this quick combo. Alright guys, so onto the combo tutorial. I'm going to show you guys 2 really good combos for the deck. One of them is going to be the budget option, and then the other one's going to be the basically not so budget option. It's going to require Brilliant Fusion. This specific combo is going to require Orphis Scorpio, and it's also going to require Re-Scorpio. What you are going to do, we're going to kind of blaze through it a little fast. You're going to summon the Orphis Scorpio. Orphis Scorpio's effect to pitch the Re-Scorpio, and that's going to summon Darlington Cobra to my side of the field. I'm going to go ahead and use the effect of Darlington Cobra, not to add Brilliant Fusion, but add instant fusion from your deck to your hand. Use both Darlington Cobra and the Orphis Scorpio to make the Invoker, and then Invoker's effect to special summon Suprix to your side of the field. Now you can use both Suprix and MX Saber Invoker, and that is going to make Isolde. Isolde and Suprix are going to trigger their effects. Isolde is going to add a monster from your deck to your hand, and Suprix is going to add Gouki Rematch. So I'm going to add Twist Cobra and Gouki Rematch from my deck to my hand. Now, I can't use the effects of Twist Cobra just right now, but that is perfectly fine. We're going to activate the effects of Gouki Rematch, and that's going to special summon you know, Re-Scorpio to my side of the field and Suprix back to my side of the field. Next, I'm going to activate Instant Fusion. Let me move this out of the zone. And Instant Fusion is going to special summon Sea Monster Theseus. Now I'm going to use both Sea Monster Theseus and Re-Scorpio to make Ultimate Azulkin. Re-Scorpio's effect is going to activate. That's going to add me another Gouki Rematch from my deck to my hand. I'm going to set the rematch, triggering Ultimate Azulkin to special summon Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Next, what you can do is use both the Suprix and the Isolde to make Decode Talker, or you can just leave the Suprix on your side of the field, because once it's into the graveyard again, you can gain its effect to search. So that little 2-card combo is going to wind you with another rematch, a Twist Cobra, Ultimate Azulkin, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and a Biko Balker, styling and profiling, Bick and Back, B and Boo. So the next combo is going to give you access to almost the exact same thing, actually the exact same thing, but it's going to require just the Orphis Scorpio and, of course, the Twist Cobra. So normal summon the Orphis Scorpio and go through almost the exact same combo. So pitch to summon, activate its effect. Instead, this time around, you're actually going to gain Brilliant Fusion from your deck to your hand. Use these 2 to make the Invoker effect, detach, and that's going to special summon the Suprix to your side of the field. Both the Suprix and the Invoker for Isolde. Where's Isolde? Isolde effect and Suprix effect. That's going to get you rematch. And sure, we'll add Headbat to our hands. Next, I think this is actually where it gets a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and activate the effects of Brilliant Fusion. Brilliant Fusion is going to send the Galaxy Serpent and, of course, where is that card? The Galaxy Serpent and the Gym Knight monster from my deck to hand. I can't quite find the Gym Knight monster. There it is. To our deck to hand. That's going to special summon the Seraph Knight to our side of the field. Gym Knight Lazuli is going to activate its effect to bring out the Galaxy Serpent to our hand. We're going to activate Gouki Rematch to special summon both our Suprix and our Twist Cobra. I'm going to move this out of the camera's view. And then use your normal summon to normal summon the Galaxy Serpent use both of these monsters to Synchro Summon and to Excel Synchron. That will trigger Twist Cobra's effect to add another rematch from your deck to your hand. And then you use the Excel Synchron and the Seraphonite to make the Ultimate Azulkin, which after setting the rematch, will make the Crystal Wing again. Now, I mean, again, I don't necessarily have any other synchros. I'm working on playing other synchros, so you can actually use these 4 or these 3. Anything that you want. I'd actually, now that I think about it, I'll use these 2 to make the Decode Talker, and I'll have, well, you can't have the Suprex over. Actually, yeah, you can, because you can make the Decode Talker over here. Where is that Decode Talker? You make the Decode Talker over here that points under the Suprex. And that's basically how you do it, fellas. This deck is pretty good at doing that. Still working on a little bit of kinks. And if you guys want to see the Metal Foe Gouki version of it, go ahead and check out my Patreon. Even just $1 a month. Not only does it help me, you guys get to see some extra deck profiles or what I've been working on, what, you know, what I'm going to work on and stuff like that. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.